Hello people, welcome back to another country video. I've been kind of sitting on this video for a while because that was a time when Naughty Dog basically said quits with the franchise. So you read the title, you saw the thumbnail, so yeah, I don't care whether it's a reboot or a sequel or a re-game. No way I wrote re-game. Why is that in the script? Wait, and this, and this, and this. Uncharted cool, full stop. It's like 3 AM here, man. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about some of the things which I would like in a new Uncharted game, which will be released by the end of year 3000, because Sony probably forgot about this franchise.
Nope, never again.
But I'm not. I'm going to be talking about combat, platforming, and exploration, with the latter including puzzles and collectibles scattered all around the game world. So sit back in your couch, pop open a drink, and sip ahead while you watch Uncharted 5. What could they goddamn improve? Uncharted is all about improving. Like, the reason Uncharted takes fortune is so bare bones in its mechanics is because Uncharted 2 improved every part of it, and so did Uncharted 3. And the reason Uncharted 4 was so well received is because they realized their mistakes and faults over 3 games and improved or removed them entirely to make the most definitive Uncharted game to replay. Still, I don't particularly love the game, but that's a topic for a different day. So, a big part of Uncharted 4 was platforming, at least the game part of it. Anyway, the biggest improvement in platforming for that game was the grappling hook. Naughty Dog really thought out of the box here, like something so original. Like, what all games got grappling hooks? They really stepped up compared to their competitors such as Tomb Raider, which doesn't 100% have a grappling hook, or they didn't 100% copy from Indiana Jones or anything. The grappling hook needs to be improved in a way of giving more control to the player than just pressing L1, or if you're using the legacy controls, Y. Made Y. I think the best way to adapt the hook is to copy from the Tomb Raider and allow you to use the grappling hook in picked-in surfaces, from where you can rappel down and up to either drop or to continue the platforming section. You can also shoot down grappling points on walls to help traverse much more faster and much more diversely. Moving on, I would like or prefer Uncharted 5 to have a lot of momentum based grapple hook jumps, or less of that handheld climbing, because if Uncharted is focusing on platforming in the future games, like really focusing on it, then I think these cinematic climbing wouldn't help the franchise improve or change in the future. Momentum based grapple hook jumps, if you don't get it, is jumps which you use the momentum gained by the swings of the rope. This was used for a bit in Uncharted 4, but not used to its full potential. Uncharted introduced the picked-in pretty late in the story, so the next game probably needs to incorporate the picked-in into its main equipment and level designs as well. Now, I'm going to be bringing back one mechanic which is scrapped from Uncharted 4's development, which was shooting on walls, and those bullet holes could be used as a platform for the victim to gouge through it. This was probably cut because it would have broken the game, but I think by designing the levels in a way of shooting some certain walls so that you can gouge through them, like the golf club did for Jules' wrinkly face. Okay, staying on topic. Probably like wet surfaces could be used to shoot bullets through it or something. It might sound stupid, but think of it in a level design. You grapple hook to a point and do some handheld climbing, and there's a grapple point way below you. You drop to it and jump from the rope. There is a wet wall so that you can shoot at it, and then you jump to it and pick it on it. This creates as players a fast response climbing system, which players will master later. I also want the picton to be used more, so imagine the picton being used for sliding. Let's say you're sliding down a surface and the next destination is below you. So you picton through the sliding surface and come to a halt to move down to the next combat section or story moment. This can be also helpful while designing set piece levels. Imagine a plane crashing and you're in front of it, sliding. The plane's wings block the following path, so you picton through the surface and come to a screeching halt, moves helplessly to the right while the plane crashes to the left. You reach your safety while looking at the crash. It pours down rain. Wow, I went in. Damn, that was deep. If that ain't something, you ain't an Uncharted fan. If the other ideas sounded weird for an Uncharted game to adopt, this will just sound absurd. Vertical climbing sections with picton and grappling hook. This could look like an early God of War trilogy climbing along vertical surfaces. They are pretty fast in those games, but I want it to be more slow for Uncharted space because it will help calm down after a combat section or a big platforming section. I think that's all I have for platforming. Probably I ain't gonna count on some exec in Naughty Dog saying, "Hey Neil, this guy has some cool ideas," before Neil puts him in crunch development as punishment. But I feel this is how I want Uncharted 5 climbing and platforming to be. In my opinion, if Uncharted is mainly focused on platforming in its future games and combat is a secondary thing like Uncharted 4, then I think these platforming ideas can make the game replayable, fun, energetic, and fast-paced. Don't leave just yet because we got 2 more categories to talk about. Right, I don't care whether you agree with the statement or not, but I would honestly prefer if Uncharted 5 focused on combat more than spending 1 hour on platforming and 30 minutes filled with combat and set piece sections. This is because the games are meant to be action flicks rather than Tomb Raider rips. Amy Hennig also told in an older interview about how Uncharted focuses on action, and comparing Tomb Raider to it would be like comparing tomato ketchup to tomato paste. One is obviously superior. The action in the trilogy kept you going on edge, and by Uncharted 3 it looked like the action pushed Uncharted forward rather than the story. And then Uncharted 4 appeared and took a step back in the action department to focus more on climbing, exploration, and story moments. But be honest, what is more fun to go back to? The slow climbing with the optional dialogue thrown in there, or running around in the arena, shooting, covering, grappling, and hitting goons' faces with the human equivalent of Doomguy's fist, with equal vertical movement as compared to ground level movement. Everyone would pick the latter option, and if anyone picks the first option, it's probably the same guy who puts the milk first rather than the cereal. Yes, an insane person. So let's start with my hopefully canon version of Uncharted 5's combat and set these moments. The stealth combat, a mechanic which had potential but was fully realized in Uncharted 4's combat arenas. I want a way to lure enemies away or to the player, so basically a distraction item. As it wasn't included in Uncharted 4 and it was so easy to implement it because Horizon already did it for them because by using rocks as distraction tools. This is where it might get a bit confusing as I want one of the stick buttons, I mean L3 and R3, to use the rock as a throwing item, as there are two buttons which aren't used much except to center the camera and use the scope and select weapons. Now, one reason potential of Uncharted 4 was not incorporating the grapple hook into its combat. So I wish if Uncharted 5 could implement this in a way like Just Cause 2's hook, where you could drop goons through a ledge by pulling them. But I feel this could limit the rope to only very rare instances which should be designed into the levels. So the only way I could see usage of the grapple other than that is to use it for a silent takedown during stealth and snatching weapons from enemies during gun combat. First, the silent takedown is of course timed as a cooldown, as this would make every encounter very easy, but I added that this could get you caught by enemies if the player isn't paying attention. Now, you can either quick aim like the bordered brick aim dots in Last of Us, or over the shoulder aiming unlike Last of Us, by holding down the L1 button and moving it with the right stick. Second is the snatching weapons in gun combat, which is self-explanatory. The cooldown for the silent takedown and this one is the same, making you as a player choose between both the takedowns like the health/finisher on the focus bar in Marvel Spider-Man. The grapple also can hook onto environmental structures for pulling left and right, or using items around the arena as throwables, or using it as a cupboard takedown from Spider-Man PS4. For example, I've been thinking of this machinery arena where Nate can attach his rope onto these hooks on the ceilings, where he can navigate these hooks to hit enemies' heads by moving the left stick. Now, the gun combat side of things. Uncharted 4 didn't improve much rather than tighter aim and precise controls. The bullet spread on the weapons in Uncharted 4 aren't the best as well for the reticles, so either change the default reticles or give us options too. Next, the enemy AI from The Last of Us Part 2 should not be reused for Uncharted 5 as they are not same damn game. Enemy AI should be also improved tremendously so that they can flush out the player fast from cover locations, and giving them the option to jump at Nate and better shot accuracy not only in crushing difficulty is also needed for Uncharted 5. Now, the Lost Legacy included a new grenade type which was the C4, but I would prefer it if Uncharted 5 allowed us to hold both the grenades instead of one type. The game could have 2 hand grenade types and 2 C4 types, which the player can change through pressing the down on the D-pad, like the system from Uncharted 1 on PS3 but quicker and not finished. Now, the Picton. The Picton can be used as a throwing tool and can be returned to the player using grapple, but I'm not forcing on this because it's kind of absurd even for Uncharted, but I would like a throwing tool. Melee is kind of hard for me to improve on, but I can try because I want the melee to be complex but fast. I'm going to be taking influences from all the Uncharted games. Yeah, except you. Oh, hell no. Let's move on. Starting from Uncharted 1, I think the brutal combo should be brought back for extracting extra ammo from goons, but hard to perform the animation. Uncharted 2's fast melee movements should be incorporated in Uncharted 5's melee combat. Uncharted 3, oh boy. Don't break the long melee animations as they could ruin the pace of the combat sections, but bring back the pushing the enemies by pressing O and breaking their faces using glass bottles and fish. Please, bring the fish back. I promise you, he's a paid actor. Uncharted 4's excellent melee animations as well as the rolling to avoid melee hits only should be brought back, but you can add some new melee animations as well because it's a new game. Then, I wanted to add some more things to melee, like throwing enemies through covered surfaces or a parry system by pressing triangle. So yeah, I think this will make the combat of Uncharted 5 to be more fun to play through, and I want the combat to be more like Sleeping Dogs, where it looks complex but it's really mechanically shallow. And it's always fun even if they throw a million enemies at you. Before we finish this video with exploration, we still gotta talk about the set pieces. Now, the biggest reason Uncharted 4 had fewer set pieces is because they ran out of ideas, as the main trilogy basically did all the major ideas. Like the plane crash, another plane crash, another sort of plane crash, another sort of plane crash,
enjoy the ride down, asshole!
train crash,
Here goes nothing.
another train crash,
Crap.
sea vehicle explosion,
Easy son of a bitch!
another sea vehicle explosion, convoy section, convoy section, convoy section, convoy section, if you count the Uncharted 4 one as well. So for Uncharted 5, I want a heavier focus on set pieces but less compared to Uncharted 3. So basically like Uncharted 2, where the action doesn't hold the story or anything else. Rather than having one convoy section, I want to have the convoy hijacks in different nature settings like the sea or the air. And maybe you could alternate between these, like hijack a helicopter and then you fall out of it to the sea, where you can grapple hook to an enemy team's boat and hijack that and drive to run. This, in my opinion, could give players so many options to travel around the action scenes and give a memorable one at that. Next, having another train sequence is unoriginal to add, but as a boss battle where you can jump from train to fight a goon to get some plot armored item. Now, as I said before, a plane crash sequence where you'll be running away from it, platforming fast and furiously across the land, using the new climbing mechanics to traverse through, with the added bonus of the scripted stuff that keeps the player moving. And another unoriginal concept is escaping a crumbling city to hook on to Sully's plane to get out of there. Maybe something supernatural also. That's pretty much what I have out of my head. Probably missing something, but that's enough. Now on to a category which you guys are probably going to skip, as it is a pretty non-existent part of Uncharted for many fans. But I highly recommend if you guys stay for it, as it is kind of important. This section mostly refers to the puzzles and collectibles of Uncharted 5. Starting with puzzles, they're a weird recurring thing in the games, as they're either bad, good, or sometimes very annoying. So let me give you some references on which type of puzzles I want for Uncharted 5. Don't bring back Uncharted 1's puzzles, as calling them puzzles is an overstatement. But Uncharted Drake's Fortune had one good puzzle, and that was a trap puzzle, which was not featured in any of the other games, which was you basically trying to open a gate, but there are traps in the place, I think it was in chapter 16, and I would love if they brought this back because it was really fun for me.
Hey, be careful! That thing doesn't look very... Hey!
Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 4 had platforming puzzles, which I would prefer for Uncharted 5, like a laid back puzzle. But the major puzzles should be more so like Uncharted 2's Chapter 23 puzzle and most of Uncharted 3's puzzle. But shouldn't be very annoying like the one in the clock tower of Uncharted 4. And maybe some puzzles using the new platforming and grapple hook to move items around the area too. Collectibles. Man, they screwed this bad in Uncharted 4. So don't add so many stupid shit like journal entries, notes. Add one of them, like only journal entries or just notes. If they are going overboard with the open level design, then make it easy for the players to find the collectibles too. Treasures are a mainstay, but optional conversations shouldn't be counted as a collectible. Add some new thing like photographs from Lost Legacy or artifact coins, etc., which are genuinely fun to collect and find. Exploration, to be honest, could stay the same, I wouldn't mind, but it sure will be annoying. That's the video, people. Sorry for not uploading a new video before, I really mean it. If Sony adds like one feature from this video to the game, I will lose and be happy with it too. Anyways, SIC PARVIS MAGNA, catch you guys later at another video. So there's been like a level which I've been thinking about, so I'll just talk about it. You drop down to a pit surface, hang your rope to swing further down to a slope. There's a wall ahead. You jump from the slope to climb the wall until you realize it's a dead end. You jump back to the slope depicted in it, and you drop to a grapple point far below. You swing on it to a further grapple point using the momentum and jump to it. The grapple point breaks, and you shoot the red wall ahead of you and you picked in on it. You turn back and shoot the grapple point to progress further, where you reach a machinery. You sneak in and use your hooks on the ceiling to attach your rope on it and hit goons' heads by navigating it left and right. Oh, I forgot to say there were enemies there. You see an enemy looking down from a ledge, and you hold down the L1 for pulling him down and use your cooldown timer to sound take down an enemy with the grapple. You get spotted. You shoot two enemies and use one C4 and one grenade to demolish the machinery's goons. You use the rope to grab a throwable item and throw it at a goon in the next room. And you throw an enemy over a table to hit him with a fish. You see more enemies come in and then you escape fast. Yeah, that's it for the level. I didn't include puzzles. I'll do that later. But yeah, like just think of the puzzle as you're pulling environmental structures using the grapple. Yeah. So, anyways, SIC PARVIS MAGNA, and catch you guys later at another commentary video where I definitely leak Nate's feedbacks. Bye.